Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. Um, I am going to do a video today talking about how I've sort of pieced together my own um, science curriculum. My children are both in different grades. Just for reference, for those of you that may not know, I have a kindergartner and a third grader, and occasionally I will have another kindergartner who is my nephew. Now, I have done, some research about what children typically learn in these grades when it comes to science, and we are going to be working on that throughout the school year. For the first 2 weeks, I let my children pick what they wanted to learn about because I thought it would be a great way to get them motivated to do homeschooling. So my son, of course, chose the solar system. We are often going to be referring to this book, not always, but often this book, Science. It is a Scholastic Kids Encyclopedia. It has a lot of great information. It's a great starting point when learning about a new subject. So this has some great basic information about solar systems. The other things we plan to do in the first week is watch Crash Course Kids to the Moon and watch Man in Space on Disney+. But it's not all just going to be watching videos and reading. We have some fun activities as well. So we have these cool little flashcards that I think the kindergartners can just use just to play with, but they do have a bigger purpose where one thing you can do with them is put them in order of which way the planets go. And also, you can ask questions, and I have a little cheat sheet that's for me here, so I could ask like, which planet is the 8th planet from the sun, and they would know, and if they knew it was Neptune, they could pull out the flashcard of Neptune. Or I could say, which is the red planet, and then they'd have to know that that was Mars. My daughter can play along with this as well, but I do think she knows a lot of that information. We do have a couple of fun activities that help with motor skills for the kindergartners, like this. But that would just be like some extra things for them to do, not necessarily part of the main learning. And then something like this for my third grader, where she can read the facts and then do some labeling. And again, I think she could use the flashcards to help her with that. So that would be a lot of fun. That would be, a good, nice week on solar system stuff. We also have other books that we can read if we want. So that's great. My son has a lot of books about space because he is very interested in it. My daughter surprisingly chose electricity as hers. I let her look through this book to kind of figure out what she was interested in, and maybe she could, use this as a starting point. My daughter then said, as she was flipping through, I kind of want to learn about lights. And I said, you mean like the lights in the house? Like, can you turn them on? And she said, yes. And I was like, oh, electricity. And we found this page. So that's a lot of fun. Some of the things we plan to, have the kids watch is Weird But True Electricity. And there's also something that's called What Uses Power on Disney+. So, it's Weird But True Electricity. That's the episode, Electricity, and that's on Disney+. And we're also going to just talk about what uses power in our own house. We do have some worksheets to go along with that. So, for my third grader, there's this little thing that has a lot of issues, a lot of unsafe things, and a little worksheet to go along with it. And it says, suppose you are the chief of health and safety inspector for your town. What advice would you give this family about how to use electricity safely? Try to think of rules that might help them make wise decisions in the future and write your suggestions below. So that's kind of like health and electricity together. And then for the kindergartners, we have this, what uses electricity. Very basic, but I think that that's just like a really good overview, and we maybe doing an experiment. I think that my husband wants to do the whole potato electricity experiment with them, so I think that will be a lot of fun. I chose the next 2 weeks based on things that I know that they should be learning. Some of this might not really be what a kindergartner would be learning, a little bit above, but what I tried to do for this put together curriculum that I pieced together myself is find stuff that they could both learn about, but then find activities, as you've seen, that are for the kindergartners and that are for the third graders that are separate, so that they're learning at their age level. So for the third week, I chose life cycles, which I think is really fun, and luckily there was a nice starting point here. It's talking about the life cycles of plants and animals, and of course butterflies, which is always the funnest. I don't have it out here, but we are doing a really fun art activity during art time where you make a folded butterfly. It looks like a cocoon on the outside and a butterfly on the inside, and I think the kids are really gonna like it. I'm very excited for it. For my daughter, we have this ant life cycle book that she'll be filling out, and it starts with filling in and drawing about the eggs and some vocabulary words like metamorphosis and antennae, cocoon, again for the larva and pupa, and then adults, and then you draw the whole diagram. And I think that's going to be really fun, again, something physical for her to hold and have fun with. But me and her can work on researching all the information on this together, and I think that's a really important skill too, because we can't, memorizing facts is really good, but knowing how to find the information yourself is even better. So for the kindergartners, I know that it's mostly them just tracing, but I think it's really will really help them get it in their heads of egg, tadpole with legs, and the continuous cycle, and I think that will be really fun. They're also going to watch Absurd Planet, Cycle of Life, and they're going to watch the Bill Nye episode about life cycles. And we're also going to spend a day talking about human life cycles, about how we are in the process of a life cycle. You start as a baby, you become a child, preteen, teenager, adult. And I think that will be a really fun conversation for them to sort of correlate that everything has a life cycle. And then clouds. In the fourth week, we're going to be learning about clouds. And again, there's a page in here about clouds. It's a small page. It's not even a double page. It's just a small page here. But I was very interested in learning about clouds when I was younger. I memorized all the different names of the types of clouds, and I'm excited for my daughter to learn all that as well. The kids are going to learn a little bit about the kindergartners will learn a little bit about it as well. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. But I don't know if they are really old enough to remember all of the names, but they might be. So this will be it's just a coloring page, but it's for my third grader, and it has all of the different names of the different clouds and types, and she can color that in, and we will go outside and look for certain different types of clouds and see what she can relate to. We have this fun weather match game for the kindergartners, and we are also going to watch what clouds are made of on YouTube, and like I said, go outside and just do some cloud watching. And I really like any way that we can get outside and get active. And in the fifth week, we are going to learn about sharks. Now, I know Shark Week already passed, but there were some great free resources online for Shark Week that I didn't get to use because school wasn't in session, so I printed those off and I added them into our lesson plans. There is no thing about sharks in here. There isn't. There is some parts about oceans and there is about endangered species, but we might cover that at another time, so I don't want to use that information in the book. We did find a book on Amazon Free Time, actually quite a few books about sharks. If you haven't heard of or used Amazon Free Time, we just started using it because I got offered a whole year for 99 cents after checking it out on the Amazon website. So that may be something you want to go check out because there are so many free kids books on there, free kids educational games and educational shows. It was 99 cents for the whole year. It's usually $2.99 a month. We did recently find out though that if you have an Amazon Fire tablet, it comes with like a certain subscription of that for free for I think it's 2 years or so. So that might be something you want to look into if you're going to be doing homeschooling. I think it's worth it. I personally, after looking at it, would pay the $2.99 a month for it, and I will after our year subscription is up. So on Amazon Free Time, we are going to read If Sharks Disappeared. We may read some of the other stories. I do read out loud to them every day during snack time. But so they do get read to a lot, and I'm going to try to pull about something we learned about that day and read about it during snack time. So I think that'll be really fun. We're gonna watch Sharks of Lost Island on Disney Plus. And strangely enough, there's the documentary Disney Nature Oceans on Netflix. My son's already seen it a couple of times. It hasn't been moved to Disney Plus yet. It's still on Netflix, which is kind of interesting, but I'm glad that we still have access to it, and we'll probably watch that. My son really enjoys it. It'll probably be something that we watch while they do other things, because it's not just about sharks. There are sharks in it, but there's a lot of things in there, so I don't care if they hear every detail, but it would be something nice to have on in the background. We have some worksheets to go with the sharks too. I do have some fun activities. I'm going to make a shark puppet, and we're going to do some shark like word searches and stuff, but I didn't include that in this because it's not part of the main lesson plan. But for my third grader, we have some shark conservation worksheets. Are you more likely to be injured by a shark or a bee? And then draw a picture and discuss what happens when our ecosystem is out of balance. Another thing about sharks, conservation, about what does it mean when a species is in danger, what does it mean when a species is extinct, and how do you think we can protect sharks from becoming extinct? And I think that's all really important to learn about. I'm sure later this year we'll do a section on endangered animals. And then for the kindergartners, I have this label a shark, and they can label the different parts of a shark. We'll cut this out, they can paste them. I think that's really fun. I think the shark's really cute, and they can color them in too. So that's what I have for the first 5 weeks of school. I think that it's really fun to do it this way and sort of piece it together. It's not as easy as just having a curriculum done for me, but I think that I can definitely fit in all the things that they all need to learn this year. I did know that I wasn't sure if my nephew was going to be coming around when I first made this lesson plan, so I will give him the opportunity to pick something out of this book for us to learn about, and then from here on out, unless one of the kids really cling on to something and get interested, I'll probably pick most of it, but I also want to play into things that they're interested in because I want to keep them motivated to keep learning, and that's it. So thank you all for watching. This is just, examples of the sort of things that we'll be doing in our science curriculums going forward, and I'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye.